Welcome to my channel. If you like my videos, then kindly subscribe, like and watch. Thank you.
Welcome back. Problem 10.3. So, two rigid bars AC and BC are connected at point C as shown. So, you can see this is the figure. This is bar AC and this is bar BC, and they are connected at point C by a pin. Knowing that torsional spring at B is of constant K, so at point B there is a torsional spring that is given having constant K. So you have been asked determine the critical load for the system. So you have to find critical load, P critical. So again we will first draw the free body diagram of the system. So if you apply this load on this rigid bar that is comprised of AC and BC, so you can see due to this load the system may bend like this. If I draw it like this, so it will move like this. So this will be your new point C. Clear? So then we will analyze the forces on it. So let me draw it like this will be after applying force, this will be your bars AC and this will be your bar AB. CB. This will be your bar AB. Clear? This is A. This is point C, this is point B. So at point B, if we remove this pin support, so there will be a load P, and due to this torsion spring there will be a reaction moment which is M. Clear? So at point A there is a load that is applied as P. So if this is the initial axis, so again you can see this axis, this angle will be equal to theta, this will be again equal to theta, and with x with C it will be equal to total 2 theta. There, the length of each rigid bar is given as 1 over 2L. So you should understand this length is 1 over AC is length 1 over 2L and BC is also length of 1 over 2L. Let theta be the small angle change of each bar. So you can see that at this point A, clear? So there is a force A, and again there is a restriction, so there will be a horizontal force as well at point A, which is FA, and at point B there is again a horizontal force that is FB. Clear? So by using the equilibrium condition, you will have to find these reaction forces at point A and B. Now you can see that at point B there will be a restoring moment which is equal to MB, and this MB will be equal to K into theta. Again we will apply the equilibrium condition at point B in order to find these unknown forces. So we will apply sum of all moment about point B is equal to 0, taking the counterclockwise moment as positive. So you can see at point B there is external moment which is MB, and that is counterclockwise, so it will be positive, and due to this FA there will be a moment about point B. So this FA and perpendicular distance is 1 over 2 into L plus 1 over 2 into L. So this total distance from this to this edge is equal to L. So FA into L, and it is producing clockwise, so minus FA into L. Their sum must be equal to 0. All other forces are not producing moment about point B because this load is passing through point B, this load is passing this load, so they are not producing the moment. Only moment that is producing about point B is FA, and there is external moment due to this torsional spring B. So their sum must be equal to 0. So when you put the value MB is equal to K into theta minus FA into L, that is equal to 0. So from here we can get FA will be equal to K into theta divided by L. So you have now FA value. Also, if you look for analysis purpose, you can check bar AC. So if you check the bar AC, if you draw the free body diagram separately of bar AC, and you will, I will draw it over here. So this is bar AC. This is bar AC. Clear? So at this point there is a force FA and there is a load P. Clear? Also there will be a reaction forces and vertical forces as well as at bar C. So if you apply the sum of all moment, this is point A and this is point C. So sum of all moment about point C must be equal to 0, and taking the counterclockwise as positive. So you can see the at point C this load is producing a moment about point C, and this will be equal to this load into perpendicular distance is this one. This one is your perpendicular distance. This was your angle theta. So from this you know that this will be equal to this. The length of AC is 1 over 2L. So you can see that this distance will be equal to 1 over 2L sine of theta, and this distance will be equal to L into cos of theta divided by 2. Why? Because this length of AC is of L by 2. This length is L by 2. So when you get the sine theta, so sine theta will be equal to this perpendicular divided by hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is L by 2. So this perpendicular distance will be equal to L by 2 sine of theta, which I have already written over here. Clear? Now you can see at point C this force which is producing movement in counterclockwise direction, so it will be P into L by 2 sine of theta, and this force which is producing clockwise movement, so it will be minus FA into L cos of theta divided by 2. Their sum must be equal to 0. Again, if theta is very small, so we have seen that sine of theta is equal to theta and cos of theta is equal to 1. So you can put the value, so it will be equal to P into L theta divided by 2 minus FA, which is equal to K theta L, instead of AFA K theta L, and into L cos of theta will be 1, so divided by 2. Their sum must be equal to 0. So you can see it will be PL theta divided by 2 minus KL square, sorry, not L square, L will be cancelled, and it will be minus K theta divided by 2. Their sum must be equal to 0. So from here we can get P is equal to K theta divided by 2 into 2 over L theta. So 2 will be cancelled and theta will be cancelled, and we will get this load which is the maximum load, and that is known as critical load, and this will be equal to K over L. So this is the critical load that can be applied on the system. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.